Hello Libras, welcome to your September 2015 tarot reading. I'm using a different deck this time. This is the Aquarian deck by David Palladini, and this is only going to be used for this month. I'm giving my other deck a break. So let's see what we have in store for you. Let me adjust the volume here. Okay, so let's see. Alright, first card, Queen of Swords, King of Cups, Five of Swords, Nine of Cups, Three of Rods, the Fool. I have the Queen of Cups, interesting, Ten of Rods, the Tower, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so let's go over this spread and see what's in store for you. So the first thing that I normally look at is the first and the last card, just to see the progression, okay? And if we're looking at this in a non-romantic way, I do feel that at the beginning of the month, you start out with the Queen of Swords. This can be you, and it's going to be male or female, but I do feel that there's a lot of information that needed to be sifted through for this month. So it is really, really important for you to maintain your composure, maintain your sense of objectivity, okay? Because I do feel this energy itself, while it can be quite strong during the beginning of the month, it starts to dwindle down towards the middle when we have new revelations, new insights, new ideas coming through. And we might be a little bit too emotionally invested in a situation, coming up with the Queen of Swords. And as a result, we might not be able to draw adequately on the clarity of thinking, okay? So remaining very objective, very firm in your own resolve, and don't waver despite anything else happening around you. I do feel that it is going to be vital for this month. So starting out the beginning of the month, towards the end of this month, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. So I do feel that if we're reading these two cards as a transition between the beginning of the month and the end of the month, there is going to be a situation concerning money that might be troublesome for a lot of you, okay? The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is underneath the Tower card. So I do feel that there might be a situation where, you know, repairs are happening or are needed to happen on the home front. It can be like physical structural repairs. It can also be unanticipated financial expenditures, increases in expenditures that you might feel a little bit destabilized about, okay? So aside from that, we don't have another Pentacles card to indicate any type of progression, whether a decrease or an increase in financial flow, but I do sense that there are definitely, by the end of this month, financial expenditures or even like contractual agreements or even situations regarding finances that might not pan out the way you wanted. And as a result, you're not going to be quite happy on the financial front, okay? Everything else looks good in terms of mental clarity, in terms of emotional fulfillment. Just financially, there might be a little bit of a dip that you didn't anticipate, okay? I also feel at the same time, for a lot of you, if there were like situations where you're making an investment, or at least you're making investments, or you're seeking financiers, like you're seeking investors and things like that, I do sense that whatever you decided on going with beginning of the month, it can potentially pan out, but there is going to be a better option coming through for you towards the end. And once again, it is the Mercury retrograde period, so you want to be very careful and be very meticulous about details when it comes to financial dealings with other people, okay? I do sense that is coming through quite strongly for this month, so that's something you want to be careful about. Know all the financial obligations available and know what you need to do. I also feel that for those of you who might be in relationships with an earth sign, for example, and this can be a male or female earth sign depending on your sexual orientation. And an earth sign is a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. I do feel if there are if there have been financial entanglements with this earth signs, or if there might have been any type of interpersonal, type of romantic situation or even interpersonal relationships associated with an earth sign. I do feel that a lot of you are going to watch this person somewhat remove themselves from your life, okay? Either on your based on your decision in general, or this person is just going to be left out of the picture, okay? Or they might wean themselves out of your life. We do have the Ten of Wands here in the reverse position, which signifies to me a process of letting go. And very often, when it's preceded by the Tower, I do feel, new information coming to light, possibly something broke through, and it might have needed a revelation came about, and you have to decide what you want to do in order to move forward. And I do feel that a lot of you might pick up the pieces and move on, might cut your losses and move on if there are financial or romantic entanglements with an earth sign, okay? At the same time, there might be a situation where you realize, okay, this is not really helpful for my emotional growth or my emotional health, or mental health. And I do feel that, I'm going to let this go just because it's going to serve my greater good. And as a result, this person might be allowed to leave your life, or in very many cases, they might leave your life. They might wean themselves out of your periphery, out of your inner circle, all right? And I do feel that in general, we have the Five of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I don't feel you're going to be destabilized by it, because the Five of Swords usually signifies, letting people go who choose to leave, all right? You're not going to hang on to grudges, and you're not going to hang on to people that don't want to be in your life or are not supportive of your endeavors, okay, in every capacity. This is also a card of victory, and it's a swift victory. And I do feel that swiftness is something that is coming in quite strongly with this entire month, okay? For the month of September, we start out with the Queen of Swords. So this indicates to me like cutting out things from your life, or at least having that clarity of vision in which you know how all the pieces fit together, in which you can find like all the disparate pieces in your life and make them fit into a big puzzle, so that at least you get the big picture of what you want your life to look like moving forward and into the future. So you know what's going to be more beneficial for your own mental, spiritual, physical development. And you also know what you want your life to take, what shape you want your life to take for the next few months or so. So swiftness is definitely coming in, corroborated by the Five of Swords and also the Tower, which indicates a shift in paradigm, a shift in the way that you've been doing things. And there is definitely a turnaround for the better coming in the second week of September until the last week of September. So it's a very nice energy. It is once again corroborated by this card, in which you are definitely feeling at your best and very emotionally fulfilled and supported by those around you, okay? There's also an element here of letting people leave, because you know that you might love the people, but if they don't choose to actively engage, and if there is like a lack of balance in the give and take in the relationship, it's not serving your greater good. So you're going to let things go, let people go, and to create a better foundation for yourself, okay? So I do feel rebuilding of foundations, re-establishments of friendships, and interpersonal relationship is in order. For those of you in a business environment, I do feel greatly there is an element here of waiting for investors, waiting for, putting your eggs in one basket, waiting for this investor to come through. And at the end of the month, I do feel that you're going to move forward with other options, okay? Because the investor that you've been dealing with for quite some time might not have gotten their act together financially, might not have everything available to you in due time. So then, for some reason, the contractual agreement just was never signed, it never fell through, and it just didn't pan out the way you want. But I do feel there would be other options available, because you do have the Wish card too. The Wish card preceding the Tower, I do feel that it is a situation where there are, well, first of all, wishes coming true, but there are other options at your disposal that you can forge ahead with, move forward with, that would have a better outcome for you further down the line. Although you might not see the end of it by this month, I do feel that around your birthday month or even like into November, I do sense that things will start to stabilize and you will realize that this is a better option for you later on. For those of you who are romantically involved with water signs and earth signs in particular, and it can be male or female, what I'm getting here is there is definitely a lot of support, a lot of truths being reached with a water sign, okay, in particular a water sign. And this can be male or female, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I do feel as well there is a very nice celebratory energy, and at least there is the coming together, a culmination of feelings being established, the foundation of your feelings, where you both know where you stand with one another. And there might be situations where whatever it was that you and your romantic partner might have decided on, in the past, there is a situation for revision here. And I do feel that a lot of it has to involve building a life together, creating a life with one another. So that's something coming through. And I do feel for a lot of you, it might be like a Scorpio, because the King of Cups is usually indicative of a Scorpio energy. And I do feel that there is a next phase in your life. This person might be thinking about traveling, as indicated by the Fool. There might have been a situation where you might be trying to move abroad together, and in order to, you don't want to do the long distance relationship, but there might be a truce that's reached between the two of you as to the next phase of your life. Okay, I do feel if this is something that has happened in the past, you're going through a revision process so that you can lay down a foundation for your life together as a couple for the next few months. And because of it, you're feeling quite good and you're feeling quite secure and you're feeling emotionally supported and loved. Okay, so either way, it's a beautiful energy flowing through from you in terms of getting the support, getting that solid plan laid out for your romantic future with with a partner. I do sense for a lot of you who might be single, dating, or in relationships in general, you might be transitioning. You might be transitioning from an earth sign, okay? So once again, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. So this person might be coming back through from your past. And I do sense with the Mercury in retrograde period, this is something that is coming through for this month for an examination, mainly because you started laying a foundation for your future with another person, with a new romantic interest. And once again, we are getting tested, okay? So the blast from the past is coming through, and you're starting to realize, what's the better option here? Should I go with, somebody who nurtures me emotionally, or should I go with somebody who in the past have been... It was a stable relationship, I sense. Whoever it is that was in your past, I do feel it was a stable relationship, or at least you feel as if you have an extensive, a long history with the earth sign potentially, or just somebody from your past, that the relationship might have gone downhill, mainly because due to a sense of stagnation, okay? There might have been a lot of love involved from both parties, where you love one another on a human level. However, in order to create plans for yourself, things were a little bit hazy. Things were a little bit difficult to settle down into any type of a traditional relationship. And it was difficult for you to see your life or to plan your life for the next few years with this person. It can be an earth sign, or in general, it was somebody who was very stable, and therefore that relationship was hard to leave behind. But moving forward, you're starting to go with the more solid choice, which I would say is a water sign, okay? For a lot of you too, there might be situations where you are transitioning from earth to water, or you're transitioning from air to water as well, okay? And I do feel that as an air sign, you tend to be very cerebral along with Gemini and Aquarius. And it's really difficult for you to invest emotionally, even though you feel greatly for somebody. It's very difficult for you to invest yourself emotionally. So I do feel that water energy is being called forth, is being conjured up out of you, in which you have to approach life, approach people, approach those that you love and care about in a more emotionally nurturing way. Not that you're not nurturing, but I do sense that that inner reserve is going to be called upon. So you are going to have to play possibly counselor, possibly like the voice of reason in somebody's life. If somebody is having a difficult time this month, and I do feel that it might be related to a breakdown in a home situation, in a home environment. If you're not dealing with this, then somebody else in your midst that you're very, very close to, possibly an earth sign woman who might have left her home, who might have gone through a divorce, who is a widow, who's coming through with some type of an emotional hardship. And it is going to require that you draw upon your emotional reservoir in order to make yourself physically and emotionally available to your friend, to this woman in your life who is going through a little bit of a possibly a financial hardship, but also an emotional hardship. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Make yourself available for this month, because you're in a very good position. Not only do you have the power of discernment, you are also coming across as somebody who's very nurturing, very sympathetic, and who is willing to be that emotional but also that objective voice of reason in order to help somebody through a difficult transition in their life. I do feel in general there is a sense of like renewal. There's a sense of rebuilding things that haven't panned out in the past, and rebuilding and creating a better, stronger, more stable foundation in in your life. Excuse me. And also in your financial situation that's coming through. Okay, so making better like financial investments if they haven't panned out too well in the past. I know that for the past few months a lot of Libras have been having some type of financial issues as well. So I do feel that you might be called upon to help those who are in need for this month, family members and close friends. And this is something that you're going to have to approach wisely, okay? So just know that if you don't have the financial resources at your disposal to give, you can always give your time. You can also just be in their lives and to help them through a difficult transition in the best way that you can, okay? So if money is short this month, there are other ways that you can offer your help, okay? I also feel that, we only have one Pentacles card. It is in the reverse position. I don't feel that things are going to be too problematic, but once again, reining on the spending, that's always good advice in general. And I do feel there might be a little bit of an indulgence because we have we have 3 Cups card. And there might be celebrations in the works. There might also be situations where there's a housewarming party and then issues come through. So you do always want to save for a rainy day, okay? Once again, I am sensing that the people who are leaving your life in general, and it can be investors, it can be on the business front, it can be just friendships overall. But I do feel the 2 main things is coming through from family and work, okay? People who choose to leave your life on those fronts, it's going to be better for you. And I do feel that this is something that's been, years in the making, and finally you're severing the ties. And I do feel that it is going to bring you that sigh of relief, because now you don't have to invest your energy in worrying about that situation or those circumstances that might have been difficult in the past to deal with, okay? So you're going to move forward with a better sense of creating a better future and also laying down foundations for yourself. I do feel as well there is an energy here, and this is mainly what I'm sensing on the work front. Things have been in the works. You've been laying down the groundwork for a work situation for quite some time, and you're feeling quite good about it. There is going to be a period of re-examination coming through in the middle of the month, just to see if your plans are solid and to see if everything will withstand the test of time, okay? So there's a little an energy here that is coming through for revision, and I do feel that a lot of it has to do with Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury in retrograde periods are wonderful time frames for that first implementation stages of a project or of a work situation, okay? So you might have had that first trial run, and then you realize, okay, I think some of these aspects need to be fixed because it's not running as smoothly and it's not as streamlined and efficient as I'd like. So something is going to definitely be revised by the middle of the month, and then towards the end of the month you're realizing that the revisions are definitely much needed because things are running a lot more smoothly and a lot more efficient. So either way, there is some sense of a structural shift, but you have the clarity of mind and you're not feeling emotionally destabilized, so that the project is definitely moving forward and it is going to have a good outcome. Okay, it's going to be efficient in a way where it might be labor saving, so then you're not investing heavily in doing, you're not investing a lot of time and energy and resources into redoing like redundant things, or at least the streamlined work processes are becoming so efficient that it's very, very labor saving rather than labor intensive. Okay, I also feel that in order to get you from point A to point B by the end of the month, there is going to be a little bit of financial constraint or even a financial investment from your end coming through to help this process along. So because of it, financially, I don't feel that you're going to be short, but there's going to be somewhat of a payout a little bit above what you anticipated. Okay, so it's always good just to save up, for a rainy day, but I do see that you're coming through very objective. So it's showing to be, just a good signing overall for the rest of this month. I also feel as well, once again, the Three of Rods next to the Fool situation, next to the Fool, it can be a situation that you're personally very emotionally invested in. And you might have jumped the gun a little bit in the past. So moving forward for this month, I do feel that a little bit more clarity, objectivity, and also a better, like a more holistic way of looking at the picture is going to be required of you in order to get plans moving forward. Okay, so once again, if you are planning a move, if you're planning a future with possibly a water sign, I do sense that whatever plan you decided on, and this might have been something that was in the works for the past 2 months, you're trying to lay a foundation where you both can be together. I do sense that the plans need to be revisited by the middle of the month, and in order for things to work out smoothly in the way that you want. Either way, you have the wish fulfillment card, okay, the Nine of Cups. So I do sense that if this has been laid down in a way that is mutually inclusive of both parties' needs, both parties' goals, plans, and aspirations for the future, it is going to have a very, very good outcome, okay? So, Libras, I do feel that you are going to have a very, very good month, okay? Don't be afraid with the Tower. I do feel the Tower does indicate, just in general, like very, very quick shakeup, but it's surrounded by the Nine of Cups, or at least is preceded by the Nine of Cups. This is something that you thought wouldn't fall through, but at the very last minute, at the very last second, it does fall through for you, and you're going to be quite pleased and happy, okay? So emotional fulfillment, excuse me, is going to be greatly indicated, and I do feel that if you've had a falling out with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, male or female in the past, I do feel that there is an element of reconciliation, and there's an element of the other party coming through and possibly accepting, their past, their faults, their past contribution to the conflict. So there is definitely a shift in paradigm, and you're going to have to redefine what is really important in your life, what you need to move forward, and who it is that you want to move forward with, okay? So have a wonderful, wonderful September 2015. If you would like a private reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com. My website and the scheduling website can be found below, all in one place. So, the booking process should be a lot easier now and hassle-free. So I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.